Hi, hello, welcome back. My name is Devraj, and today we're going to look at some great exercises, in fact little massage exercises that you can do if you suffer from the leaving pattern. The leaving pattern is this tendency to dissociate from the sense of the body that is triggered by our nervous system, when some form of psychological stress comes in. So we might be in a social situation and maybe something is triggering us a little bit about it. It's a bit scary in some way. We might not even be consciously aware of that, but our nervous system is looking out for us and it just says, okay, I'm taking you out of here. And all we know is that we've suddenly gone into this very cerebral state where we can no longer feel our body. Classic leaving pattern. When we're seeking to overcome the leaving pattern, one of the first things to understand and to remember is that you have to go quite slow and gentle, because we're not really in control of it. We've got a little bit periphery of control, but it's basically being mediated by our nervous system beyond our conscious awareness, underneath our conscious awareness. People of this leaving type tend to want to jump to the finishing line. They're not so interested in the journey. What they want to know is like, okay, where do I need to get to and how do I get there quickly? They want to take action, but this does not work when you're trying to overcome the leaving pattern itself. Because as soon as any level of feeling is triggered, you will jump out of your body and back into the mind. So you have to go gentle, you have to go slow. You can't really usually work, or at least when you begin, work at the belly level, because it will be too intense and your nervous system will just take you out of there. Now, classic areas of the body to work are the forehead and the throat area. There's some exercises on my channel using Reiki and breathwork techniques to loosen up this ring of armor that leaving pattern people typically have around here, the forehead. And then working the throat is a great idea, because the throat can become the kind of battleground between the thinking mind, the frontal lobes up here, and the body. The body's trying to push up in a sense and just allow feeling to come out, and the mind is like, no, I'm shoving that down. And so that's a tendency that leaving pattern people have. So gently learning to work the throat area can be very, very useful. Now, there are several muscles which are heavily implicated in the leaving pattern and this tendency to try and hold ourselves up in the frontal lobes and avoid really feeling our body. And those are classically the scalenes, which are a series of muscles that run down the side of the neck here, and the sternocleidomastoid, which, coming from a similar place here, runs down the front. You can feel it. You can see mine here. And on both sides, of course, that's the sternocleidomastoid there, scalenes at the side here, and then muscles around the throat. So today we're going to look at some great little massage exercises that you can do to really start to move some of the tension out of there. Now, if you're leaving patterned and you're watching this, you need to go gently. Do not treat these muscles like, okay, I'm just going to get in there and make them do their job, like you might do with a computer. You are not a computer. And so you need to treat yourself more gently and have more of the attitude like, I want to get to know these muscles. Because these muscles around here, they've been used by this pattern, used by your nervous system just to perform a task, suppressing emotion, suppressing energy, suppressing feeling, which they were not intended to do. So we want to start to make friends with these muscles. Let's take a look. So scalenes, 3 muscles that run down here. I'm not a big A&P anatomy and physiology person, but you can find them. If you start to feel into these areas gently, get in like that, you can feel these muscles. And what you want to do is just run your thumb and your fingers up, like I'm doing like this, just feeling these muscles, giving them a little squeeze, but not with this intention to kind of change something, more like, oh, I want to get to know these muscles. And you've got them on the other side as well. Just feeling these muscles. You just get in there and you just really get to know these muscles. Once you've done your scalenes, you can look at the sternocleidomastoid. Again, another pair of muscles running down the front to here. You can maybe start where this little indentation is here and just come to the side and you'll find it there, and on the other side too. And you can work that and kind of, feel it and track it back up. It goes back up here to the jaw. And just work this muscle too. Breathing out. I'm not really doing it. I'm doing it in a kind of demonstration mode. But ideally, you just sit down or lie down and you gently do this. You take a couple of minutes over each muscle, really feeling it, giving a little squeeze, a little massage, getting to know this muscle. And then when we've done the scalenes, and we've done the sternocleidomastoid, then we can move on to these muscles around the throat. And particularly here, we've got the hyoid muscles and bones right up here. And what you can do is get in there gently at first, but then start to give them a good lateral wiggle around. So I'm jiggling them like that to that. Neck is up, breathe. And then come a little bit further down, like midway around the Adam's apple. Give that a jiggle. Maybe right down low in this recess here. Kind of jiggle in there, feel a bit weird. But generally get these muscles all moving around, but with the kind of energy, with the feeling like, hey, I want to get to know these muscles. We're not trying to make them do something. They've been doing that all our lives, basically. Once you've worked all these muscles, give yourself a little chance just to have a bit of release for a couple of minutes. Breathe, feel your body. Maybe it wants to spasm a little bit. Maybe you need to cough. Maybe you need to burp, something like that. Those are all quite common physical movement signs of release of a basic level of catharsis. You don't need to force any of that stuff, but you don't want to be suppressing it. So don't immediately get up and go straight back to doing something. Give yourself at least 60 seconds, 2 minutes, just to sit and feel those muscles and allow anything that wants to happen without trying to push it in any way. Now, when you first start to do this exercise, do be gentle, like I say, particularly here with the throat. It's understandably a bit scary to work with the throat. It's obviously super important. It's where air comes down into our lungs, keeping us alive. So, before you go charging into these muscles, make sure you feel confident and make sure it feels okay. Go a bit gentle to start with. Okay, so that's my video for today about working with the leaving pattern. Give it a try. I wish you good luck with it. And feel free to check out my website, bioenergetics.org.uk, where you'll find books and courses and all of that stuff. Okay, bye for now, and thank you for tuning in.